We all know Ranger School to be one of the toughest and most demanding military leadership schools in the world, and I showed up injured, without any train-up. It was an unwise decision to say the least. I absolutely don't recommend doing what I did. In this video, I'm going to discuss my training timeline and why I showed up injured and unprepared. And then we'll discuss the life-changing lessons that I learned about going to Ranger School so unprepared. I went to selection, or the Special Forces Assessment and Selection course, just before the attacks of 9/11, and I went to the Special Forces Qualification course, or Q course, afterwards. The last phase of training that I had as part of the SF training pipeline was Survival, Evasion, Resistance, and Escape, or SEER School. And 2 weeks after SEER School, I had a Ranger School slot. I should have scheduled more time for rest and recovery, but I was so near the end of my training and all I wanted was to be done and to get to my team so I could go to Afghanistan before the war ended. As you can see, I was a bit unexperienced back then, and little did I know that we would be fighting in Afghanistan for 20 years before leaving it in disarray and giving all of our weapons and equipment to the Taliban. I've already made a few videos about Ranger School to include how to prepare for Ranger School, how hard is Ranger School, what's harder, Ranger School or the Special Forces Qualification course. I'll leave links to those videos in the description, but for this video, I'm going to highlight what a knucklehead I am, but I will also emphasize the life-changing lessons that I learned by showing up to Ranger School injured and unprepared. My SEER course was a January course, and we all nearly froze to death. I also had the extra privilege of having a, quote, leadership position while inside the simulated prisoner of war facility, and this meant that I got a little extra love, if you know what I mean. We got snowed in that week, and also for graduation, so the guest speaker drove out to Camp McCall in his 4x4 to give us a pep talk. And by pep talk, I mean that he told us his real stories about being an African American prisoner of war in North Korea during the Korean War. SEER School was hard, and to be honest, there were a few times that I had to dig deep. But it was a luxury Girl Scout camp compared to the stories that we heard from our graduation speaker. I was really convicted by our guest speaker, a quiet professional who had endured so much in his life. He had mental toughness like I had never known. I was inspired. When I finished SEER School, I had lost 16 pounds of muscle. I literally could not feel the bottom of my feet, and the doctors at SEER School prescribed me 10 days of a muscle relaxer for a neck injury that I got during one of my interrogations. I think it's safe to say that I was jacked up, but I was equally motivated to go to Ranger School, and nothing was going to stop me. During the 2-week period between SEER and Ranger School, do you think that I made a plan on how to recover and prepare for Ranger School? Absolutely not. Why would I want to focus on stretching, gently regaining strength and circulation, and ensuring that my body was well rested and well nourished? Because I couldn't feel the bottom of my feet and was on muscle relaxers, I thought it would be a bad idea to go overboard with running or lifting, so I didn't work out at all. Zero. But I did decide to focus on what I could, which was eating and getting some of my weight back. For those of you who really know me, you know that I'm a chow hound. One day I'm going to write a book about eating my way across different war zones and countries. But for now, let's just say that I ate my body weight in chicken burritos and chocolate frappuccinos. To make my transformation complete, I shaved off all of my glamorous Special Forces hair a few hours before school started, and I reported into Ranger School like a total knucklehead. Injured, tight muscles, weeks of atrophy, not in great shape, and as bald as a new recruit on the first day of basic training. To an outsider looking in, I looked like a guy who would drop out of training the first week, perhaps the first day, maybe even the first hour. But what they didn't know was that behind the injuries and the bald head was a brand new green beret overflowing with competence, which led to confidence and an extra dose of mental toughness. David Goggins didn't really exist yet back then, but in his words, "You can't hurt me. Ranger School, you can make me ruck all day, patrol all night. You can make me plan every mission, lead every patrol, carry the machine gun or radio. Doesn't matter. Bring it. I don't care. You can't hurt me, Ranger School. I'll graduate here number 1, 62 days from now." It sounds a bit cocky to think like that, but it wasn't arrogance. It was the truth. Confidence in my competence. I knew it was going to be hard, but I also knew myself, and I was hard. Ranger School was just as I expected. Games and hazing and yelling and anger from the second it started. But what I didn't expect was that my injuries would get worse. You see, you never walk anywhere at Ranger School. You run. You run to combatives training. You run to the land navigation course. You run to the obstacle course. You run to the chow hall. You do a 2-mile buddy run. And by doing all of this running, I developed shin splints and Achilles tendonitis in both legs. This meant that my lack of stretching and training between SEER School and Ranger School was sabotaging me. Every step I took hurt. What a knucklehead. I should have taken better care of myself, but it was too late to point the blame. I had to find a way to endure, which is all that I could do. After a night of harassment and working out and push-ups and 0 sleep, they got us into formation at like 3 or 4 in the morning for the famous 5-mile run. "You Rangers are gonna run 5 miles. The standard is 40 minutes. If you fail to meet the 40 minutes, then you're out. On your marks, get set, go." And we were off. That was the hardest run of my life, not because the standard is too high, but because I was injured and my whole body hurt. My numb feet, inflamed Achilles tendons, and overused shin splints were screaming. But I made it, and since rucking and patrolling, and even that terrible Darby Queen obstacle course would hurt way less than a 5-mile run on my legs, I knew I would finish Ranger School, even with my stupid injuries. I like to tell aspiring Rangers that they should get as fat as they can, but still be able to run the 5-miler in 40 minutes when absolutely exhausted. That way they maintain their cardiovascular fitness, but show up with a few extra pounds, all of which they will lose during the course. One of my favorite military quotes is, "If you're gonna be dumb, you better be tough." Boy was I dumb, but thankfully I was tough. On a side note, I had circulation and capillary refill. My muscles and feet worked. I just didn't have any feeling in the bottom of my feet. Thankfully, the feeling started to come back in Florida phase, and my feet were plus or minus normal by graduation. In my book and course, Special Operations Mindset, we have an entire chapter dedicated to mental toughness. But to give a quick summary, you build physical and mental toughness by doing hard things. Start out with something hard and do it. Build some competence and confidence. Then go for something harder and do it. Build some competence and confidence. Then do something even harder. I think you understand my point. I had the courage and confidence to join the Boy Scouts because I was a good athlete in middle school sports. I made it through selection because I was a competent land navigator and backpacker, and during my Boy Scout years, I walked thousands of miles in the mountains. I had the courage to go to the Special Forces qualification course because I had so much confidence after passing selection. I didn't quit SEER because I was hardened by the Q course, and I knew I would graduate from Ranger School because the Ranger instructors, or RIs, can't torture you or lock you naked in an outdoor prison in the snow. So to go back to my point, you learn mental and physical toughness by doing and accomplishing hard things. Did you notice that for these images, I flashed the words competence and confidence? Did you notice that competence comes before confidence? This is because competence should always come before confidence. Would you rather have an employee or a teammate who is confident but is an idiot, or one that is competent but lacks self-esteem? By having gone through the Q course, I was a competent rifleman who knew how to plan, patrol, and energetically meet the enemies of my country. And by building those skills and competencies, I had the confidence to volunteer for Ranger training immediately after finishing SEER school. The last thing I want to talk about is commitment. All too often these days, young men like to keep their options open. They don't commit. Hey dude, you got any weekend plans? Well, I've been invited to hang out with so-and-so, but I'm not sure. Hopefully I can get a better offer. So what are you majoring in? I'm not really sure what I'm going to study. I guess I'll just take general ed courses for the next couple of years. Maybe we should live together instead of getting married. I'm not really wired that way. When I commit, I commit. And that's why I hid my cold weather injury when I showed up for Ranger school. Nothing was going to stop me from getting my tab. I was committed. And to be even more committed, I bought a brand new house in Rayford, North Carolina a few weeks before SEER school, and it wasn't going to be ready to move into until the week after Ranger school graduation. So the whole time I was in Ranger school, I was homeless. Everything I owned, which wasn't much, was in storage. My house wasn't ready yet. I had no place to go. Looking back on what I did, I was a total knucklehead. You don't show up to Ranger school broke. You show up on your A game. Yes, I should have made a much better plan to stay fit, stretch, and rehabilitate myself back to health as much as I could before showing up. But it's not about the physical game, it's about the mental game. I always say that special operations schools are mental through the physical. They play games with your mind by exhausting your body in an effort to see if you have the fortitude to become a member of the community. I've seen guys with muscles that I've never even dreamed of quitting training because it was too heavy or too cold. But if you have the right mindset, you'll make it through training. You might be a smart leader who can write a great patrol order, but without physical and mental toughness, you will quit training the second it gets hard. The biggest takeaway from this video is that competence, coupled with mental toughness, overshadow almost every other virtue or skill or mindset when it comes to military training. But even with that said, I believe in working harder and smarter. If you're planning to go to an elite school, learn from my mistake, arrive prepared. If you are interested in learning more about being prepared for joining the military or preparing for an elite special operations course, or if you simply want to benefit from the tools and mindset that make the members of the special operations community so successful, then please learn more about the resources on my website, lifeasaspecialoperation.com. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe if you want to join my Life as a Special Operations team, and be sure to forward this video to a friend or family member who needs to see it. Life is a special operation. Are you ready for it?